What's going on, YouTube? It's the Game Zombie here with some new news on Mortal Kombat X. Now, today over on Reddit, some screenshots from a gaming magazine were leaked of the upcoming Mortal Kombat X factions. So let's get right into it. Now, in this first picture, we can see 5 factions. It says Faction War, and there is Lin Kuei, White Lotus, Special Forces, Black Dragon, and Brotherhood of Shadow. So that's 5 factions total. And what these factions are basically are clans. And the description says, if you can visualize the interconnectivity of Mortal Kombat X's features, it would be that of a chain, where some links share the same loops as others. At the center of this collection of links is the new Faction War, which unites the solo and multiplayer components. Think of it as an enhanced global user profile, one that doesn't just track your performance across all campaign and online matches. Factions is a metagame that obliges all players to choose one of 5 sides, all of which should be familiar to longtime fans of the franchise. Now, we already knew that there was going to be factions, but we didn't know really the extent. This sounds really interesting because even if you don't like playing multiplayer a lot, or you're constantly getting bodied and you just get frustrated, you can still contribute to factions through story mode. Now, every single Mortal Kombat since MK4 had a crypt and had some kind of currency like combat coins. Maybe they're shifting from that reward system and currency, and maybe they're going to shift to XP. I'm not sure, but maybe as you get whatever XP or currency to spend in the crypt, if there is a crypt, you'll also gain that XP towards your factions and vice versa. Like kind of like Call of Duty, you know, the more XP you get, the more things you unlock, which would be really interesting and add a lot of replay value to this game. Reaching certain goals to unlock certain alternate costumes, and maybe even they'll have challenges for certain factions. Maybe they'll have clan wars. You know, every month will be this faction against this faction. Who knows? But it's looking really cool so far. Now let's talk about the factions. The first one is the Lin Kuei, and next to it says Team Sub-Zero. So Sub-Zero is obviously part of the Lin Kuei by Han, the original Sub-Zero. Kuei Lang, Smoke, Cyrax, and Sector were originally Lin Kuei. So those are all examples of Lin Kuei. So we might see, some reoccurring characters. We might see some new additions to the Lin Kuei, but it is being led by the original Sub-Zero. And in the little column of the factions, we have a picture of Sub-Zero. Now, the next faction is the White Lotus. And next to the White Lotus, it says Liu Kang, Raiden, related to the Order of Light. Now, we all know that Raiden is the Order of Light, but Liu Kang, could that just be throwing the name out there? Or is Liu Kang going to be in the game? And so it's so interesting that they put that in there. Me personally, I can't see him not being in the game. Especially with the way that MK9 ended. I'm really hoping for zombie Liu Kang, not just, Liu Kang comes back and everything's okay. Or, I really see him coming back as a villain, seeking vengeance on Raiden. But that's a whole nother story. Members of the White Lotus include Kung Lao, Raiden, Liu Kang, Guy Lai, and Kaya. And like I said, some interesting stuff there with Liu Kang. And then in the faction column for White Lotus, we have a picture of Raiden. Now, the next faction that we have is Special Forces. And it says, next to Special Forces, Jax, Sonya, and other operatives. This is really interesting, you guys, because we already have Cassie Cage confirmed. And she is the daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya. Also, in the faction picture, there's a picture of Cassie Cage. So why is Jax and or Sonya being mentioned? Is it just because those are the original members of Special Forces? Are they going to make an appearance in MKX? Are they going to be playable in the game? Who knows? But pretty interesting there. Other known members of Special Forces, of course, Sonya Blade, Jax Briggs, Cyrax, Kenshi, Stryker, all members of Special Forces at one point or another. Now, the next faction that we have is Black Dragon. And next to Black Dragon, it says, Kano and those who oppose Special Forces. Sonya and Jax have always had a rivalry with Kano, so that's going to be interesting to see who is added to Black Dragon in actual MKX. Members of the Black Dragon in the past have been Cabal, Kira, Cobra, Jarek, Tassia, Tremor, No Face, and of course Kano. The big one that stands out to me there is Tremor. As I've said in previous videos, there has been a petition going around to get Tremor into the game. So if he is in the game, more than likely he will be part of the Black Dragon, making him a villain. And that would be really interesting to see his story develop in MKX. And of course, in that column, we have Kano. And then the last faction that we have is Brotherhood of Shadow, led by Quan Chi. And of course, in the column is a picture of Quan Chi. It's really interesting because there's not too many known members of the Brotherhood of Shadow. I think if Shinnok is going to be in the game, he will probably be in that faction. Previous members have been Jataka, Kia, Ashra, Rico, Serena, and Noob Saibot. So it'll be really interesting to see if any of those characters come back, or we'll just get some new additions to that faction. So really a diverse group of factions, you guys. I mean, the possibilities are endless as far as what new characters can be added to what factions, and as far as the storyline goes, what characters could be jumping factions. Now, the rest of the article reads, whether you play against the AI full-time or fight against real-life opponents online, your results affect your associated faction on a weekly basis, where the victor spoils include badges and other rewards. It's just another way for Mortal Kombat fans who just like single player to be indirectly involved with the community. In other words, it's a team effort without the pressure and anxiety of needing to play online. So like I said earlier, for people that just want to stick to story mode and casually play with their friends, you know, that's really cool that they'll be a part of their faction still. XP will still go to them and they'll still get the benefits and the rewards. But it's really interesting to see these factions and how they're going to develop. I really want to know, like I said earlier, what unlockables will be entailed in these factions. And just like Injustice, I'm sure they'll have not daily challenges, weekly challenges, and, you know, maybe, like I said, monthly or bi-monthly clan wars or faction wars would be a really interesting and cool idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you excited about these factions? What are your thoughts on them? Do you think that we're going to see more factions? Do you think this is it? What characters do you want to see in what factions? And all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, and as always, subscribe.